It's a beautiful evening for junior college football as the sun sets in Chula Vista, California. Coming to you live from Devore Stadium. It's the Southwestern Jaguars hosting the Mount San Jacinto Eagles in junior college football action here on the Cali Photo Sports Network. I'm Bo Ferdig. Once again, alongside my partner riding shotgun, Scott Catlin. Scott, we need to turn the ship, man. We need to get back on the winning track. What is it going to take for that to happen?
Well, it's first of all, it's good to be back. We've been gone. It seems like, a month almost?
Right.
The Jaguars, by now they found their identity. They know what they want to do. They know who their starters are. They know who should be playing where. They know what each person is capable of. So they just need to implement a game plan and play a clean game because they're playing a solid team.
Right.
Mount San Jacinto has over the years have been in the lower division, but they're usually the best team in the lower division. And now they've come up and they've been just as competitive. So they're a good, solid team. This will be a good test for the Jaguars.
The Eagles coming in 3-2 overall. Jaguars still looking for their first win, coming this one 0-4, and off of another unconventional bye week partner.
With the same team.
Yeah.
So
when was the last time you seen that happen?
Never.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, they were supposed to play
San
Bernardino Valley
yeah.
earlier in the season, but because of wildfires, the game was canceled. So then they rescheduled the game. But San Bernardino Valley, I guess they're not able to field enough players, so they've basically canceled their season. So they had another unscheduled bye week.
So getting healthier, but still, you want to get as many games in as you can, right, to try to gain that momentum moving forward.
Yeah, because you usually about mid-season is when you usually hit your stride, but they're a couple games behind.
And the kickoff, Southwestern taking on Mount San Jacinto. Ball brought in at the 20, return to 28. Nice special teams coverage by the Jaguars, and the Eagles will bring on their offense. Logan Gonzalez, the starting quarterback, has 1,518 passing yards in 5 games. He's averaging over 300 passing yards per game. This guy averages about 50 pass attempts per game, and had a quality game against Fullerton, against a really good Hornet team, beating them 35-28, 491 passing yards and 5 passing touchdowns. Logan Gonzalez.
Yeah, that speaks for itself.
Split back, looks right. Nice quick pitch and catch to one of his star receivers, Jackson Wang. Against Fullerton, he had 7 receptions for $188 and 3 touchdowns. Leads the team with 407 receiving touchdowns and picks up a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, and even something as simple as that, you can tell how they're in sync with each other. The timing is really good there, and now you're ahead of the sticks with 2nd and 4.
Yeah, you were talking about that mid-season flow, right? That's exactly – you see the cornerback 7-10 yards, and it's a quick pitch and catch to bring up a 2nd and 4. Once again –
same thing.
To Wang on the far side, makes a move, makes a first defender miss, and picks up enough for a Eagle first down.
Yeah, so they're definitely in sync.
Try to get that play-by-play working. 2 plays, both to Wang on the outside, and come out with a single back behind Gonzalez.
Now you got tight end trips.
Kretz in motion. First handoff of the game. Nice lane for the running back, and picks up 10 for an Eagle first down.
Yeah, they blocked that well up front. So you had tight end trips away from the tight end. Good seal on the edge there, and that's a really good running play. So their offense is clicking to start this game. So and this is also the danger of when you've been off and you've been off again, is sometimes the other teams are ready to play and you're just a step slow.
Mendoza, after that first down run, has only 3 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Jaguars do a better job up front of getting to the ball carrier, short gain on first down.
Yeah, it looked like Lynch too, but they let it go.
Mendoza, the lead back for the Eagles before this game, 67 carries for $169 and only 3 rushing touchdowns. Jaguars still looking for their first rushing touchdown from a running back on the season. 2nd and 8.
He probably only has 3 because they throw the ball so much.
Right, 50 pass attempts. Gonzalez looks right again, hits his tight end. And Gonzalez starts the game 3 for 3 on the night. Looks very decisive in the pocket, partner.
That's the word that was just on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, he knows where he wants to throw the ball, and he makes a decision, and the ball comes off that hand zipping. However, so far everything's been to the right.
That's a good point as well. Reuben Watson on the reception.
Even on the short side of the field. So I'm curious to see what they do back to this direction.
The short reception brings up a 3rd and 4.
Got
First
trips.
3rd down in Jaguar territory. Gonzalez fakes the
There you go.
handoff, has a receiver open
There you
up the
go.
middle. Makes the first defender miss, gets inside the 25. And Jonah actually scratched that Koa Apana with a big first down. RPO, worked to perfection right there, partner.
Yeah, and that's the look over here. We're going to go back the other direction. So they're already doing a good job of making the Jaguars cover the whole field. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get a run or then you get a deep shot coming up.
Gonzalez now 4 for 4 to start the game up. That was Apana's first reception. He leads the team with 38 receptions on the season and make that 39 after that last one. Handoff again off the left side. Gets to the edge. Nice open field tackle coming up from the secondary.
Does it work? So it looked like there was an overloaded formation, and I don't think the Jaguars adjusted to it because it was tight end to this side and the wing.
Chris Fuel out of Lincoln came up to make the tackle after a 3-yard gain. Mendoza stays in as the single back. 3 receivers to the right.
Yeah, they like the trips with
Of
the tight end
Gonzalez.
opposite.
Apana in motion.
Outs open.
He looks that way. Great coverage in the secondary by the Jaguars. Mendoza tries to dump it off, but best defensive effort right there and pass.
Yeah, the speed out was there initially, but after that, the Jaguars did a good job of matching up and taking away the deep ball. I think he was looking to throw that corner route.
Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 7 with 10:50.
Yeah, but this is a good opening drive, especially when you're on the road. They're already in scoring territory.
Wing the single back to the bottom of your screen. Gonzalez looks that way, checks off of him, deflected at the line of scrimmage, and Jaguars come up with a big 3rd down stop.
Yeah, that's a good defensive play there. D lineman realized he couldn't get to the quarterback, got his hands up, got the deflection, holds them to a field goal attempt.
And the Eagles are going to bring on special teams. Jared Kuczynski from 38 yards out. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick just clears the crossbar.
Barely, but it counts.
Small victory for the Jaguars on defense, and the Eagles get on the board on their first offensive possession.
Yeah, definitely. They can't let teams get up on it. In the past, they've given up touchdowns, and it's as in when you're looking for that first W. So hopefully they'll come out and get some first downs and move the ball down the field.
10:39 still remaining in the first quarter. Jaguars now going to get their first crack on offense. Beautiful evening here at Devore Stadium on the campus of Southwestern College. I mean, when you talk about facilities here in San Diego, this is about one of the best you can get.
Yeah, well, this facility is better than some D2 programs around the country. That's why this should be being in San Diego with this climate, with these facilities. You should be able to bring a few guys in from out of area. There's a lot to do out here too.
Coach Rodriguez in his first year as head coach for the Jags. And the kick will go out of bounds. Jaguars will get good field position in their opening possession. And for the Eagles, head coach Casey Mazzotta. Jaguars offense coming on the field. They're averaging 151 through the air and 62 yards on the ground, averaging about 14 points per game. And on the defensive side for the Eagles, they're allowing a little over 200 passing yards per game and 145 on the ground. But one of the struggles for the Jaguars offense is getting the running game started, partner.
Yeah, I was just going to say they need to get that number up to the century mark just to be balanced, and so teams can't just sit back, rush the passer. And
pin their ears back and go after the QB.
They really need to stay ahead of the sticks.
Yeah.
Something positive on first down.
Connor Underhill will start tonight's contest. Just under 400 passing yards on the season. Jaheim Williams will get his first start of the season. We've been talking about him highly. Play fake, pass near side. Savion Yokley.
Nice move.
We've talked about him as well. Tall, athletic receiver. We got to see the ball in his hands more because when he's in open field, he could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's good to see him get a target to start the game. Get him in his flow, get him his rhythm. Good short pass. Let the quarterback get comfortable. Then 2nd and 5, now you have the whole playbook.
Yeah, it's establishing the run game to open up the pass game, but at the same time, you need those short passes to keep the defense balanced.
Yeah, and you can do it. You can do both. You can use your short passing game as your running game.
An extension of the run game, right? Bunch formation to the right. They're going to pass that way. Quick hit. Nice open field tackle right there.
Yeah, that's a good
by
idea.
Chase
But
Shackleford.
yeah, that's just a good play by Shackleford there. Good recognition, good down the hill angle, good tackle.
Pass brought in by Noah Carey.
One thing I already noticed of the teams we watched, the San Jacinto seems to be a little smaller defense, but they're definitely quick at every position. Good flow.
Carey had a big game last game against Fullerton. Is when he made his mark. Williams, a single back. Bunch formation to the left of Underhill.
Straight man.
Underhill looks left. Pressure up the middle. And it looked like his arm was hit moving forward, and that ball will fall incomplete.
Yeah, he couldn't follow through the throw. That's a good pass rush. Defense challenged him there.
Initially, it looked like there was good blocking up front. Just took a while for those routes to open up.
Yeah, well, the receivers got rerouted, and then they were trying to go vertical, and just didn't have time.
Incomplete pass on 3rd down will bring on the punt team for the Jags.
Uh-oh.
Good job by the punter. Nice punt after a low snap. Fair caught at the 30 by Dante Sams. And that's where the Eagles will start their second offensive possession. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. So we've seen slow starts in the past, and it doesn't help when you're 0-4 and coming off a bye week.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a little sluggish. The other team's up to speed, especially if they just play. But you have to overcome that. That's just the cards that are dealt.
Gonzalez, after starting the opening drive 4 for 5, starts at his own 31. Kretz in motion. Gonzalez pump fakes. The sluggo wasn't there.
Oh, good throw.
And a big reception, but a fumble inside the 35. Looks like the Jags are going to come up with it. A heads-up play by Will Halub. Gave up the reception, but got the forced fumble and the recovery.
Yeah, he definitely made up for getting beat. On the flip side, though, I would look for San Jacinto to go back to that a few times throughout this game. But good. That's what Jaguars needed. Big play. Got the turnover. Now, offense needs to capitalize on it. Even though it's in their territory, when the defense makes a play, get you the ball back, offense needs to respond.
Halub leads the team with 3 interceptions on the season and comes up with a big forced fumble to get the offense back on. Play fake from Underhill. Goes deep to Savion Yokley, and that ball is broken up at the 35.
Yeah, fortunate that wasn't intercepted. Free safety read that all the way. He needs to either throw that 10 yards farther or, Yokley needs to break it off and turn it into a dig.
Nate Frankfather with the PBU.
Yeah, actually, I know Frank. I actually recruited him to when I was at Palomar College. He went there, and I guess he's a bounce back and transferred.
It's not a last name you forget.
Nope. And ironically, he was playing outside backer at the time, and I told him, I think you're a strong safety or maybe eventually a free safety.
What made you think that? Is lateral sideline to sideline movement?
Yeah, his body type, he's actually put on some weight and gotten a little bigger, but it was his lateral movement and athletic ability where I didn't think he would end up being a box player, which conversely, I had a guy who's a starting inside backer at Idaho State who, when I had him at Palomar, had him play slot. I had him play safety so he could learn how to play more all over the field, but he's 6'3", and he was 190 at the time, and I was like, you're going to eventually be 230, and now he's about 235.
Jaguars working behind the sticks. The draw.
Good cut.
Williams makes the first defender miss,
what
makes
you
the
need.
second defender miss, gets an open field, and that's what Jaheim Williams can do.
Yes.
Great run, his first run of the night, and a big one for 13 yards.
Yeah, so when you have an individual on the team where you can be in second and long and you can hand the ball off and then be in third and short, you have to get that guy touches.
His first touch of the game, and it keeps the defense balanced as well, right? I mean, with that in mind, you could still run a play fake on second and long and still, be productive. Williams play fake.
Oh, dangerous throw.
Defense was there, but a great grab near side at the first down marker, and Carey needed 2 and picked up 2 for the first down.
Yeah, that was a small window to get that ball in there.
So normally it's an RPO situation, but it looked like he was going to Carey all the way.
Yeah,
right
I don't
there.
think they RPO'd that. I think that was the actual
Just
call.
a play fake off the big run.
Yeah, it's just we're going to fake it and then we're going to throw it. But my preference is if you're going to do that, throw the ball down the field.
Yeah. Well, they tried with Yokley a couple plays earlier.
Yeah, I mean after the play fake, after you've had a good, successful run.
3 down linemen for the Eagles. They bring an extra.
Good throw.
Ball caught at the 50, and first time the Jaguars are in Eagles territory, picking up 10. Noah Carey again with the reception.
Yeah, that was a good read by the quarterback. Good decisive decision, good throw. So this is exactly what the Jaguars need. Sometimes that's all it takes is a special team play, a defensive turnover, just to get the whole team energized, and they feed off that.
Well, now it's how is the offense going to respond, because
Exactly.
the defense gave you the juice, and in order to keep that momentum, the offense has to do something as well.
True, because then it can backfire if it keeps happening repetitively where you
Williams
don't respond.
off the left side gets hit near the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a gain of 2. Williams is the only returning player for the Jaguars. He's been banged up a lot, overcoming injuries. He was playing safety at one point for the Jaguars.
He's a good safety too, by the way.
Yeah, he's a great
just a
overall
good football
athlete.
player.
Yeah, and I mean, coaches at the next level. If you need a guy that's interchangeable on either side, he's one of those guys that can do it both ways.
Absolutely.
Williams stays in as a single back. Bunch formation to the left of Underhill. Underhill's going to go deep, one-on-one.
Too far.
The receiver had a step or two, but Underhill overthrows his intended receiver. But you like to see the Jaguars stretch the field.
Yeah, so I've said it numerous times. It's the hardest offenses to cover, to deal with, are the ones who make you cover the entire field. Yeah. So even if somebody's really good at one thing, they're a power running team or they're a vertical passing team, it's still just one thing. But when you have to cover the entire field, it really puts strain on the defense.
That ball was intended for Cody Judge. He had a 43-yard touchdown against Fullerton. Incomplete pass brings up a third and long pressure up the gut, and Underhill goes down.
Yeah, we got a penalty as well.
Isaac Brown, the first one to Underhill with the sack. And another third and long, partner. Flag was thrown before the snap. See what the call is.
Yeah, somebody probably lined up in a neutral zone. But that's a break. So far, though, anytime it's obvious passing down, Mount San Jacinto's just bringing it in bringing heat, and the Jaguars are having difficulty picking up the blitzers. Going to have to make that adjustment with the protection.
So a 3rd and 8 turns into a 3rd and 3 at the Eagles' 39. This is the second offensive possession for the Jaguars. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Underhill. Receiver in motion. Underhill will roll right. Has a receiver on the out. Overthrew his intended receiver, and that ball's intercepted.
Yeah,
Greg Jackson with the INT.
Yeah, I actually thought I would have been wrong. I was wrong. I thought they were going to spread them out and run the ball there. Because where they're at on the field and them trying to striving for the first win, I thought they were going to use 2 downs to try to get the first.
We're in 4 down territory right there.
Yeah, so that's why I really thought they would just spread it out and try to run the ball, thinking that they're going to go for it on 4th down.
His intended receiver was open. He did have a step, but
yeah, but if you're out of sync,
yeah,
and you're on the run and you're running a mid-range
throwing it to the far side of the field,
throwing to the far side of the field, that's a long throw.
It is. Gonzalez back onto the pitch.
Good defense.
And nice open field tackle right there by Joshua Ferreira.
Yeah, that's how you come downhill.
Ferreira known to be a ball hawk in the secondary.
Yeah, he has good angles. Stays on his target. So in football, you want to run in straight lines as much as possible, and he does a good job of tracking the ball.
Gonzalez, only 1 incomplete pass on about 7 or 8 attempts. The play
Going
fake.
deep.
Gonzalez over the middle again.
See?
Has his intended receiver, Apana, once again with a big pitch and grab and a nice run after the grab. Gets to the Jaguars' 47 for a 25-yard gain.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that. That's the same thing the other direction. So on the single cut side, that's the side with the 1 receiver. You're going to see a lot of hitches and then vertical route with him. On the double side and trip side, they're doing a lot of crossers, seams and crossers.
That was the same exact play going the opposite way, wasn't
direction.
it?
He just flattened it out a little bit, which is the one I said you'll probably see again. They just flipped it.
We saw that on the very next possession. This is 3rd offensive possession.
They just flipped the script
for the Eagles. Split formation. We have a flag deep in the secondary. It looks like a delay game for the Eagles. You mentioned San Jacinto having success in 21 and 22, back-to-back champions.
Yeah,
so, I mean they're
they're used to winning. So even though they're coming up, as you will, the last couple seasons, they're a winning program. So they're like, hey, and they play. Let the play.
Mendoza plants his foot, gets upfield. Jaguars front line doing a much better job closing those gaps.
And they still played the big boys when they were supposedly down in the lower division. So to them, this is nothing new. And they're an established program where the Jaguars are completely starting over.
Yeah. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. San Jacinto drove down and kicked a 38-yard field goal to start the scoring. Jaguars on 2 offensive possessions have come up blank. Quick hit near side. Nice move by Kretz. Gets to midfield. Picks up a gain of 5 or 6. Bring up a 3rd and long.
That's smart play calling when you just get half of it.
Trying to cut that in half.
Yeah, just cut it in half and make it third and manageable.
Three receivers to the far side of the field for Gonzalez. As mentioned, he's averaging close to 50 pass attempts per game. Gonzalez looks left.
You're going to run
goes
for
right.
it.
He'll tuck and run.
Oh.
Gets hit near the first down marker and breaks the tackle, and he'll pick up enough for a first down.
Yeah, that's a good, tough run for a quarterback.
As a linebacker, though, that's when you're licking your chops, right?
Yeah, well, back in my day, I'm trying to knock his helmet off. So all my good hits are illegal now. So, but yeah, the last thing you want to do is get run over by a quarterback because you're gonna hear about it in film session.
Gonzalez with his first run on the night picks up a first down. Needed 8, got 9.
Now you know he's tough too.
Strong side to the far side of the field. Off balance throw to the far side.
Yeah, so when they're shifting like that, there's only a guard and a tackle to the weak side, and it's basically an overloaded formation. So this time the Jaguars adjusted to a little better. So far, all their plays out of that have gone to the strong side.
We don't have stats with us, but I'd say we're coming up close to 10 pass attempts and only 1 incompletion for Gonzalez to start this game.
Yeah, he's sharp.
Valencia, the single back, the toss, and a flag before the snap.
Legal formation, maybe. Oh, somebody moved.
They usually play the play out on a legal formation, but the
Yeah,
false
that's true.
start on the strong side. And that will bring back in the skill players on the outside. The receivers come in after that false start. Brings up a 2nd and 8. It's the third offensive possession for the Eagles, getting in Southwestern territory for the third time as well, 3 for 3. Once again, another quick pass to the far side, hitting Wang. Wang's third reception on the night.
Yeah, all the same route. So Jaguars going to have to adjust to that.
When you're a corner on the outside, and you're told to play that deep third or deep, what are you looking at in the receiver? Do you just have to give that up because that's the formation that's given to you?
Nope. I'll explain after the play though.
Okay. I knew you'd have an answer. Gonzalez, 3rd and 2. He'll tuck and run up the gut.
So
Needed 2, picked up 2 that's back-to-back first downs through the legs of Gonzalez.
So I was a safety who got converted to corner, and I like to play for interceptions. So the way I prefer outside leverage, that's with the corner being outside shade of the receiver. But the way I teach it is, especially with everybody being in shotgun now, is you read the quarterback. So if the quarterback is throwing a quick pass, as soon as he catches the ball, he's going to turn and throw it.
But you don't keep your eyes in the backfield.
But that's why, so I got to
extended conversation. Keep going with it. We'll go through this play.
So the only way you can look in the backfield if you are over the top of the receiver. So you essentially run the route for the receiver. So if it's a quick throw, as soon as the quarterback catches the ball, he's going to pivot and throw the slant. He's going to throw the hitch, or he's going to throw the out.
Because he's planting that back foot and letting it rip.
So you have 2. You have 1-2. It can be hop. It can be slide. It can be pedal. If the ball's not coming out, now you must turn and run. Because if you don't turn and run, even if the receiver is slow, he's going to run by you.
Right.
So it's kind of both. You don't really look in the backfield. You just get a tip-off of what's going on. So you can play zone that way, or you can play outside man that way. And if you're the corner on the single cut side, for those that don't know, that's the receiver. If it's just an X receiver, nobody else is around, you're essentially in man-to-man, especially if the back is opposite of you, because there's no other receiving threat in your area. So it's kind of a hybrid. You got to be able to do both. Not everybody can do that technique. However, playing inside leverage, to me, inside leverage is for a fast guy who's not smart. Don't take that wrong, people. Because when you're playing inside leverage, you are going to turn your back, but it becomes a foot race because you're letting the guy get over the top of you.
Knowing you can close in on that.
Hoping that
Right.
you can close it.
Right.
But if the quarterback makes a good throw, you're never in position to
Right.
get interception.
Right. But also, that's the most difficult pass, is that pass over the top.
True. Well, true depending on who the receiver is.
Well,
because
right.
once you get to a certain level, even slow receivers know how to stack you. That is,
Right.
get in front of you and just run in front of you, and then you throw the ball. So that concept, the concept that receivers do is how I teach corners to play. So the corner runs the route for the receiver, and he's stacking the receiver.
Yeah.
So because the dilemma I had is I was quick, but 90% of the guys I covered were faster than me. They're running 10-400 meters, 10-3. I covered my cousin who ran a 10-1, and I was like, you're not running no deep routes on me. I'm kicking you in your shins every time you try to go vertical. So it's something you really have to work on and have to teach. But my frustration now watching a lot of DBs at every level is the lack of technique. Like you'll watch him and you don't know, well, what leverage is he playing? Is he playing outside leverage? Is he playing inside leverage? Is he playing catch? A lot of times it's hard to tell. And that's frustrating for a former defensive back who's a defensive coordinator.
Yeah. And then you say all that, you play back, and then you get hit on a sluggo. And they've tried that once before.
True. But it's not the NFL. If you're over the top and you're out in front of the receiver, if he goes to the sluggo, you just hit him. The ball's not in the air. It's not
Right.
a penalty.
Right.
And if you're not playing, if you're a one high team, you've already done your job because you funneled that post to the safety.
Right.
What you don't want is have a receiver cross your face and go vertical. You want to push the receiver to the middle of the field.
Yeah, Jaguars love to run that too deep.
Yeah, they're a too high team though.
Gonzalez gets to the
Good,
edge
that's
inside the
good
30.
flow right there. So
That's a nice open field tackle right there.
Yeah, that's a much better angle and tackle for 24.
Jeremiah Jones
Yeah, that's how you want to do it. Inside out, track that near hip to pec.
came downhill.
Yeah, downhill is always better than lateral.
Got some stats from Chris Davis. Thank you very much for providing those. 6 first downs, 7 rushes for 31 yards, and the Eagles passed for 116 yards in that first quarter.
Yeah, and they're dominating ball, time possession as well.
Another quick pitch
you
and
got it.
catch, fires it to the near side. Jaguars rally to the ball, but not before another first down for the Eagles. On the reception was Emilio Valencia, his first grab on the night.
Yeah, it's an impressive drive so far.
So you talk about total offense, 19 plays for a $147 for the Eagles, and on the other side for the Jags, 10 plays for 31 yards.
Yeah, they have to get more production than that.
Gonzalez in that first quarter, 10 of 12.
Oh,
Handoff up the middle to Mendoza again. And a nice run on first down for the Eagles running back. He's starting to pick up
yeah,
the
true,
momentum.
true. But that's as a DC, that's the kind of thing that frustrates you. That should have been a 2-yard gain, and
It
it
looked
turned
like
into a
the
6-yard
Jaguars
gain.
were in position to
Yeah,
make that play.
he just didn't believe in himself and didn't commit to the tackle, and that's why he ended up looking like a backpack.
Gain of 6 brings up a 2nd and 4. 2 minutes into this second quarter. Jaguars going to need to make a stop here.
Yeah, as long as they keep him out of the end zone, they're all right. Keep it a 1-score game. Hold them to another field goal attempt.
Gonzalez
play.
again up the middle.
It's a good job by the D-line.
Had that guard come over.
Yeah,
as
Five
the
did a
lead
good
block.
job kind of blowing it up, but his teammates need to rally and help him out.
Joshua Ferreira from the secondary. First down brings up a 1st and goal at the 6. We were talking about that before the game, though, right? Just the defense playing well, but, they lose,
Yeah, they just play too much.
yeah. This is the third offensive possession for the Eagles. Gonzalez up the middle gets hit
There
at the
you
line
go.
of scrimmage.
That's how you play that.
It's a much better
Yeah.
run-stopping defense right there for the Jaguars. Leading the way, Bennington Smith on the tackle. And right there, the Eagles were simply saying, we're going to just keep running until you stop it.
Yeah, they stopped at that time. Much better at the point of attack.
The run for no gain brings up a 2nd and goal at the 6, coming out in the same formation, strong right.
Look for play action here.
Single side receiver to the left.
There it is.
Play fake.
There it is.
Looks this way, has Mendoza in the flats.
There it is.
Jaguars rally to the ball for another short gain for Mendoza.
So the reason I knew it was pass is just the way they set. The guys, they weren't in their stances like they were going to fire out. So it's just a subtle tip-off that when you're a dinosaur like myself and seen football so much, you kind of feel running pass.
Well, that's the job of an offensive lineman, though, right? Is to, whether you're firing out or whether you're pass blocking, is to make it all look the same.
Yeah, same with receivers as well. Everybody should do that, but it's just human nature.
Empty set, 3rd and goal at the Jaguars 5.
Oh, he's beat.
To the end zone.
Penalty.
Gave up the inside, and Apana with the grab for a touchdown, but a late flag after the reception.
Yeah, so how we were talking about playing outside leverage.
You don't want to do that right there.
In the slot, the rule number 1, don't get your face crossed. Yeah. That's literally rule number 1.
Defensive penalty, Gonzalez to Apana for the first touchdown of the game.
And you know, with me, you know what rule number 2 is? Don't get your face crossed.
Follow rule 1?
Yep. See rule 1 in the slot.
Kuczynski on for the extra point. He made a 38-yard field goal on the opening possession. That was the first time we saw an empty set from the Eagles this game.
Yeah, well, with the quarterback has already shown that he's not afraid to run the ball. So that spreads it out and gives him the option to pick his receiver and then tuck it away if he wants to. And he seems to be a good decision maker. And you only run empty too when you have an O-line, you trust your protection, or you have a smart quarterback.
Kuczynski on the extra point. Up and good.
It's not pretty, but it's effective. He's making them.
Eagles with the 10-0 lead, 10:44 remaining in the second. Tonight we're going to be celebrating Jimmy Hammond, the athletic trainer, at halftime. I know you had a...
Yeah, so I call him Hambone. That's the nickname. He's been around for a long time. He used to be in the NFL. Back when I was here many moons ago, he was a trainer here. And he is universally loved. Like, he gets along with everybody. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Hambone. And when you're in, I would tweak things and get hurt, but I'll be ready by game time. So even when I moved on, I still kind of deferred back to him. I would call him and say, this hurts, and what do you think? What should I do? And I always followed that man's advice. Holds a very dear place in my heart.
Do you have anything that you remember as far as the best advice he had given you? I know it was a long time ago to go back in the memory bank.
Actually, ironically, he's going to laugh when I say this, to keep being me, be myself.
Oh, wow. I don't know if that's good advice or bad advice, but...
He said, "Don't let anybody distinguish your light, man. That's what makes you.
No,
that's why you're able to play multiple different positions and excel, because of a strong belief in self." And he's like, "Well, you know what? That's you. You need to be you.
Be your true."
He did
self.
say like, channel it a little bit so you don't stop getting in trouble.
Right. I'm sure there was a little more to it.
Yeah.
No, you're a good man, Scott.
Appreciate it. False start. That's not the way to start the drive.
Not a good start to the third offensive possession for the Jaguars. Working behind the sticks. Connor Underhill, 2 passing touchdowns on the season. He also has 2 rushing touchdowns, leads the team. Completing about 50% of his passes. They're going to come out in an empty set.
Yeah, don't try to get it all back once here. They just need to get a good positive play. Don't do anything
Eagles
crazy.
with 7 at the line.
Okay.
Jaguars tried to stretch it, but the Eagles fly to the ball for a loss of 2.
Yeah, just trying to be a little too. Remember, I said earlier in the first quarter, this defense is not big, but the defense is fast. I don't think running lateral is going to work against them. I'd like to see them run Williams right at them and then do some play action and target Yokley, maybe even run some RPO stuff like that.
Yeah, you can tell early in the ball game they made a concerted effort to try to get Yokley more targets.
Yeah, but they haven't went back to him since. And you got to get Williams the ball. I get that, but not in that fashion. So you got single coverage here.
Another draw to Williams. Makes the first defender miss, but 53 is right there to wrap him up. Brooks on the tackle.
Yeah, that's a good, safe call. However,
we've already seen that on a second and long.
No, on second and long, they're saying we're not gonna giving up
give
a
that
deep
to
ball,
you again. Yeah.
and I'm telling you're on draw. You're on draw and you're on mid range.
You're talking about for that linebacker.
Yeah, for anybody
yeah.
in the anybody in the box. You're on draw, screen, and crossers only.
3 receivers to the left of Underhill. He looks single side, pressure up the
That's
middle.
trouble.
Rolls left and is brought down at the 5. Vincent Perriman on the tackle for the Eagles.
Yeah, they're just relentless there. So that's why I was saying that they need to get a piece of it, get a little bit, so then they weren't up on second and long and third and long. Because as I mentioned earlier, anytime it's a clear passing down and it's third down, they're bringing heat. They really need to get a good punt off here because you don't want to give them a really short field right now.
Eagles returner with his heels.
I'm saying
at the Jaguars
here.
38.
Oh, no, that's exactly what you got. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to make it happen. I didn't want to talk it into existence.
You didn't want to be the curse, but
I didn't want to talk it into existence. I was like, they can't get a block here. But so after the fact, I was thinking that, but I sure didn't say it.
So Jaguars lose 17 yards and can't get the punt off. And the Eagles will get their best field position of the night at the Jaguars 1.
Yeah, because now they're getting the ball 30 yards from where the drive started. The worst case scenario. Now you got the
big boys come on the field.
That is definitely a full house backfield.
Full house goal line.
That looks like Burt Grossman in his playing days.
Gonzalez hands it off to Mendoza. Mendoza dives in for an Eagles touchdown.
Well, here we're gonna find out if the Jaguars have grown.
Let's see what you're made of.
Yeah, and they need to make this competitive because for the record, I'm at 7:00. My 13U football team is kicking off a playoff game, and I'm missing it to be here. So
I said you were a good man.
Yeah, I think they'll pull it out. They don't have to have me there to play well, but I want to see good competitive football here since I am missing those youngsters. Shout out to Eastlake 13U Blue.
Jaguars averaging 14 points per game, allowing 38 on the season. So
yeah, so when you don't score a lot of points, you can't. They're not built to come from way behind. So what they need to do right now is go down, eat up the clock, get a score, make it a 2-point game. I mean, 2-score game, 2-possession game, and get to halftime and regroup. Cannot have a 3-and-out here.
Well, it's building some type of confidence too, right? I mean, starting the season 0-4, it's Where's it going to come from?
It's not where you start. It's where you end up. But you have to keep growing each week.
Right. See, and when the offense is struggling, special teams is a third of the game.
Yeah, so
Are you surprised they're fair catching the ball?
So that's what I mean right there. Like, so when I was playing like the Fire and me, I would be like,
right,
I'm housing this blank right now. So you guys just block. I don't care. You better block. I'm dipping anyways. So sometimes when you have a few leaders on the team, that the rest of the team can take on that personality and mentality. You know, hopefully there's a coach that they look up to that has that mentality as well. But I'm still looking for the Jaguars players who are the emotional leaders of the team.
Underhill back onto the pitch. Williams, hand off to him off the right side. Makes a move, gets to the edge, but is pushed out of bounds and runs out of real estate near the original line of scrimmage. Loses one, it looks like.
So he had success. Let's go back. First quarter, first drive. Williams had some success running the ball, but that was between the hash marks. It wasn't on the edge. They have to get back to trying to get some movement. You can't panic here. You have to still establish a running game. There's a lot of football left. There's almost 3 quarters left.
Underhill looks
he's
near
open.
side. He had him.
Yeah, he had him open. That's a good
Came
job.
off. Williams in the flats.
Okay.
Jumps over the initial tackler. And that's one of the things Williams do well.
Yeah, he's an explosive player. You have to give him the ball. So right at the beginning, Jefferson was open on the opposite side. He just didn't see him, but that's all right. He went to the check down. But when your check down's your most explosive player, you don't have to throw the ball 30 yards down the field. You can throw the ball.
Underhill's been under pressure too, so he has some happy feet right now.
True. So
just not feeling confident.
But that's fine. You get the ball in your playmaker's hand. You throw the ball 5 yards. They can run the 25 yards.
It's one of the reasons why Underhill's starting as well, because of his legs.
Yeah, you don't want a statue back there. They blew that up. That's good defense. O-line is going to have to get some movement.
Run for no gain. We'll bring up a second and long.
It doesn't help that San Jacinto seems to be controlling both line of scrimmages too.
Yeah. Their best offensive lineman, Santi Macias. I didn't see him in the starting lineup for tonight's contest, so that hurts. Underhill had some time, eludes the pocket, has his receiver at the Eagles' 45.
And that's a good job. Sometimes you have to escape the pocket. He didn't give ground. He accelerated, escaped the pocket, planted his feet, made a good throw.
Noah Carey on the grab.
It's a good, promising drive. They got to just sustain it and come up with points.
Actually, might have been Yoakley on the far side. I love those jerseys, but
yeah, it's
they'll make it easy for us up top.
It's definitely different, especially at an angle. This might be a junior college, people, but we are way up here, away from the field.
Josiah Jefferson leads the team with 14 receptions. He is in the slot near side.
There you go.
Quick hit to Williams. Nice block by Jefferson.
There you go.
Williams in the open field. Gets a first down and more for a gain of 12.
Yeah, get him in the open field. Let him turn his shoulders and see what's coming at him, and so he can use his athletic ability and his shiftiness. Good vision, too.
Jaguars back in the Eagle territory with the ball at the Eagles' 32. Williams stays in the game as a single back. 3 receivers to the far side of Underhill. Underhill play fake.
There you go. See,
quick hit up the seams.
Thank you. OC's finding his rhythm.
That's Josiah Jefferson with his first grab on the night.
Yeah, hand the ball out or pull it out and throw the good sure completion.
Had 8 receptions against Saddleback.
Now more things are going to be open because of those 2 plays.
And you always say the easiest pass is in between the hash.
Yeah, the straighter throw where the quarterback can step into his throw and fire the ball at a target as opposed to a moving target. Farther you get away from the quarterback and the wider out, the lower the percentages.
Williams off the left side, bounces it. Plants, gets upfield, keeps his feet moving.
That's the way to drive.
Nice hard run by Williams. Needed 2, picked up 5 for a Jaguar first down. Before this offensive possession, I want to say it was Rodriguez came to the offensive huddle and really gave it to his team. Make sure they understood that this was a pivotal drive for the game.
Yeah, you don't like to be in that position early in the first half, but hey, it is what it is, and he's the head coach, so he's the pulse of the team.
Tough snap for Underhill. Looked like it was a designed run play.
Yeah, but that shows his athletic ability just to save that disaster. Yeah, that didn't look good there.
It's Isaac Brown.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate about the way he dropped. That's usually when you feel something pop. Just take a seat, son.
.339 remaining in the first half. Eagles 17, Jaguars 0 here on the Cali Photo Sports Network. Bo Furtick, Scott Catlin on the call.
Yeah, they have to. If they get it, you're only comfortable while you are up 3 scores. So anytime he gets back to 2 scores, anything can happen. So as long as they get points on this drive, they're right back in the game.
It's been the short passing game and get it in the hands of Jaheim Williams.
Yeah, you mean exactly what I said in the opening?
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, especially with Underhill being under pressure, not having a lot of time in the pocket.
Yeah, they don't have time to run digs. They don't have time to run long corners. They don't really have time to run over routes. They just do what you can do. Then
it'll open that up.
That might open that up. But you can't force it, because if you force it, your quarterback's going to get sacked or killed, or he's going to throw interceptions, or he's going to fumble the ball.
Yeah. Well, they've also done a concerted effort of getting him to the outside of the pocket as well. We've seen him roll out a few times.
Yeah, if it's a design rollout, then that's a little bit different. Right. Keep one person in, let him get turn the corner, and then he has the option of setting his feet and throwing or taking off. But it's not conceivable for the Jaguars right now to have a pocket passer. It's just not in the cards for them. So work with the cards that are dealt.
Underhill looks right.
There you go.
Going to the end zone.
Oh, make that catch.
That's a ball you got to come down with if you're a receiver.
You got to help your quarterback out, especially in these situations when you need a catch.
Josiah Jefferson has that ball go right through his mitts.
Yeah, so see the difference there, where they're at, he's running like a flat corner, which is almost like an out.
Right.
And that doesn't take as long as either. Whereas sometimes you run a corner where you go up the field and you go to the post and then you go back to the corner route. They don't have time for that.
A great ball by Underhill.
Yeah, you got to catch that.
Looks like man-to-man across the board. Eagles look like they're going to bring the pressure. They do. Throws a slant far side. Nice one-on-one coverage by the corner on the far side.
Yeah, a little bit underthrown, a small window, a little low. And it wasn't going to get the first down either. I think they're just trying to get a closer field goal attempt.
Greg Jackson. Well, I think Underhill saw the pressure also and knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly.
Yeah, true. But just the play design, the route concepts they had, I don't think they were looking to try to pick it up. I just looked like they were trying to go get a closer field goal attempt.
.36-yard field goal up and good. Jaguars get on the board.
All right, at least they're on the board. 2-score game now. Obviously, they would have preferred a touchdown, but again, it's back to 2 possessions.
Cueva Ibarra bangs it through to bring it back to a 2-possession game. 3:20 and counting. 3:20 and counting. 3:20 remaining in the second half. That drive chewed off about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. I would have preferred to take up the rest of the half, but hey.
I'm guessing you would prefer the touchdown too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Got to have good coverage here, though.
Short kick brought in at the 10.
Got a flag.
Late flag.
Good tackle.
I say late flag because it was thrown on the near side. That flag was thrown about 30 yards.
Yeah, it was thrown early, too. That's usually holding. So while we're waiting, just as an addition to the Jimmy Hammond story. So when I was in junior college, let's see if we're ready. Let the officials make his call first. See, that's just talked about. You got to have a good coverage here. Now they have good starting field position. So when I like a lot of youngsters, when I was in junior college, I was already I had a small child, had school, had a job from 6 to midnight, and I was like trying to live life, do everything in one day, every day. So all that fire and passion sometimes worked against me. And then, it actually made me I was so passionate is that sometimes it came out as people thought it was anger or lack of control. So what Jimmy helped me do is like, yeah, be yourself, but you got to learn to channel that energy. And it really helped me grow up in those 2 years.
Gonzalez near side on the bubble screen. Lineman get out in front.
Good. That's a good job by 71 getting out there.
Sam's on the reception, picks up 10.
Yeah, so because of the penalty in that play, they're 20 yards from being in scoring territory in a hurry.
After getting the ball on the 1, this is their 5th offensive possession. They're 5 for 5 getting into Southwestern territory. The pump fake.
Rally to the
Gonzalez
ball.
out in the flats. Picks up a gain of 3. Nice open field tackle by Jeremiah Jones. 2:30 and counting. Two receivers to the left, 2 to the right.
Looking to
For
that slot
Gonzalez.
receiver.
Apana over the middle on the drag.
So just a subtle.
Another
Yeah, I
yards
just saw,
after the catch.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
I saw it before the play. Number 1 was looking like he was about to get the ball. And the quarterback made a subtle look over there to see what the coverage was, so I kind of assumed he was going to him, and he was.
And we are now at the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. Eagles still with a 2-possession lead, 17-13. With the ball at the Jaguars 33.
17-3.
I'm putting that in.
You trying to give them 10 extra points?
I was.
Okay.
You recognize it, though.
Well, they're going to have to score some touchdowns before this game is over if they're going to prevail. You need to really need to hold them to a long field goal attempt here. I mean, that's probably what coaches tell them, hey, just get a stop, keep them out of the end zone, try to hold them to a long field goal tip. Let's try to get a turnover if we can.
Will Holub came up with a big defensive play in the secondary, forcing the fumble, getting the ball back for the Jaguars. Talk about momentum plays. Talk about that one or two guys on both sides of the ball that the Jaguars can lean on.
Yeah, but you can tell the guys that are looking to make those plays. They're not going outside of themselves, but their goal is to, I really want to hit you. I really want to make you fumble. I want to be the guy. And those are guys who stand out, especially if they're trying to get, everybody wants to get scholarships.
Apana in motion. Pump fake to him. Gonzalez rolls right, has his receiver. Nice back shoulder pass and grab.
Yeah, so that shows you his arm strength there because he's really moving. He's not really setting his feet. Throws the ball 40 yards fairly accurately, and the receiver helped him out by having good catch radius.
Kretz stayed in bounds, even though it looked like he got out of bounds. Clock is still rolling. 23-yard grab for Kretz. I would assume a handoff right here.
Yeah. Oh, no, he dropped it. So they tried to trick him. He pulled it, and he just mishandled it.
And the Eagles will call their first time out here in the first half with 1:27 on the clock. Other scores. After this one, the Jaguars will head on the road at Riverside and at Mesa. It doesn't get much easier for them, partner.
Yeah, Riverside's scoring, about
70 points.
60 to 70 points a game right now. So that's what you call rolling.
I think I saw them put up 70. I think it was against the Eagles or.
They've scored 50-plus in the last several games. So.
Yeah.
They scored, I think, that much on Fullerton. They scored.
I think that's what it.
53 or 54 on Palomar, but they had another touchdown at the end of the game, called back for a penalty, and then they just took a knee. So they're in that 60-point range, week in, week out. Yeah, today they won 62-10.
Who they put up 70 against?
I thought it was Fullerton. Or no, maybe El Camino. Yeah, it was El Camino, which is not no slouch.
Yeah, Jaguars had a tough time against them.
Exactly.
Gonzalez rolls left. Short pass. Receiver keeps his feet moving, dragging defenders to the 5.
Yeah, that's a big, strong tight end there.
Simple pitch and grab, but effective for the Eagles through the air. Coming up on the 1-minute mark. Are we surprised the Jaguars aren't calling any timeouts right now?
Yeah, a little bit. Because they're not going to have time. Now they're not going to have time to do anything themselves. But if they're just thinking no matter what, we're going to go to halftime and regroup. There's probably a rollout here, a handoff.
Handoff up the gut.
And he's going to score,
Mendoza
too.
got hit at the goal line.
Yeah, on the second effort, he got in, though. So
and Mendoza gets in for a rushing touchdown, his fourth.
So they're
his 5th on the season.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball and then call a timeout if he didn't get in, but they just got all of it.
Mendoza had the only 3 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles on the season. He now has 2 here today. And the Eagles flip it back into a 3-possession game. And Kuczynski is 3 for 3 on extra points. So they're going to give a nice tribute to Jimmy Hambone Hammond at halftime. You can see the folks up at top on the training center gathering for the momentous occasion. We're having some difficulties with our instant replay. So we're going to try to reboot at halftime. Hopefully come back in the second half with some good stuff. But we also want to get you that halftime celebration of Hammond. So we'll see what we can do on our end.
See, now, the one thing I am going to, again, I'm being repetitive here.
But it's something to mention.
If you get a really good return, then you're set up. Then you, like, let's say you return the ball to midfield. Now you
3
can
timeouts. Something to work with.
Yeah, but don't just concede taking the ball on the 25. So I don't get that. So that's the mentality I was talking about.
Yeah.
Is like, you got to try to make a play there.
I mean, when you talk about momentum plays as well, I mean, that's...
Yeah, so that's the team conceding. We're just going to go to and regroup. But if you return the ball to the midfield or the other team's 40, you can try to get some points there.
And that will end first half action here at Devore Stadium. Eagles with a 24-3 lead. And both teams Jaguars will head to the locker room. What are we going to try to do, Pablo? We're going to try to restart? Okay. Stay with us. We're going to try to reboot and see if we get some better connection on our side. But we're going to celebrate Jimmy Hammond at half. Don't go anywhere here on the Cali Photo Sports Network.
See you soon.
Back with you here on the Cali Photo Sports Network. Bo Furtick, Scott Catlin on the call. 24-3, but we have a great halftime celebration of Jimmy Hambone Hammond. I know you've had I know you've talked about him in the first half, but touch on him a little bit more while he walks through the crowd.
Well, I'll say, just if you look, like, you can't fake, like, enthusiasm. If you look how the amount of people that are here that are down on the field and the way they're interacting with him, I mean, the guy is just, I mean, there's some people that just are likable and they get along with everybody and can relate to a lot of different people. And he's just one of those rare individuals that it's difficult to find anyone that has a negative thing to say about him, because he's just that a good guy. And he's literally been around here for 40 years now. 35, 40 years. And it surprises you the amount of, he's moving slow, but that man has
slow and steady wins the race.
But he has a lot of energy for somebody his age. And how they talk about Pete Carroll being old and was the oldest coach, but he had a lot of energy, a light, and kind of lit up the room. It's kind of the same way with Hambone. Like, he might be slow in his movement, but that brain is sharp, and he's a wild man. That's why they're playing this song. Yeah, I'm really pleased to see him honored, man.
Ron Valenzuela, the athletic director, is going to give him the award. And the Athletic Training Center will be named after Jimmy Hammond. There's Ron right there.
Really glad to see that.
Giving Jimmy a hug. Well deserved. And for a guy, anytime you're around a program for that long, blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, everything is invested into a program.
Yeah, and he's seen the whole change of this campus. Back when I was here, this beautiful Southern End was a hill that we used to do sprints and bear crawls up. And Jimmy was here since then. Used to play on a grass field here.
Athletic Director Ron Valenzuela with a few words. We'll take us off, put us on mute here, and hopefully get the words from down on the field.
A lot of the former coaches are here too.
This dedication is an enduring acknowledgement of Jim's remarkable contributions to Southwestern College and the entire South County community. It's a first full circle moment as Jim graduated from Sweetwater High School and as an alumnus of Southwestern College. He attended here from 1963 to 1965. He served as a student athletic trainer under the supervision of Southwestern College's Hall of Fame athletic director, Tom. James transferred to San Diego State in 1966. He then served as the San Diego Chargers as an assistant athletic trainer from 1969 to 1982. He served a lot of memorable teams, and we have some of those honorable Chargers in the house tonight. Thank you for being here. In the National Football League, he worked with legendary coaches and athletes like our guests that are here tonight. James returned to Southwestern College in 1986, where he devoted 25 years as head athletic trainer and retired in 2011. A distinguished professional in Southwestern College's athletic history, he was inducted into the Southwestern College Hall of Fame in 2011. His commitment to fostering excellence in athletic training continued well beyond his retirement, as he volunteered as an athletic trainer from 2011 to 2021. The dedication of this facility not only commemorates James' exceptional contributions, but also served as a symbol of his enduring spirit of mentorship and a culture of care. He instilled hope and empowered generations of student athletes to capitalize on their setbacks, but to continue to move forward. Personally, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to say thank you, James, for being an amazing champion at Southwestern. I'd also like to thank the community, all of our guests, for coming out and supporting our Southwestern College Jaguars student athletes in tonight's football game. This is your college, Southwestern College. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to turn it over now to our athletic director, Ron Valenzuela.
Jimmy, there's a lot of things and a lot of directions we go with Jimmy. When I first heard about this job here at Southwestern College, I started doing some research. I wanted to know what I was getting myself into. I wanted to know who I was working with, and I wanted to know who this James Hammond guy was. So I contacted one of my old professors, Dr. Robert Moore. And it turns out Jimmy was Dr. Moore's very first athletic training student at SDSU, who knew Jimmy really well. Dr. Moore had a lot of great things to say about Jimmy. What was Jimmy is the hardest working athletic trainer I've ever known. When Jimmy first started working here at Southwestern College, he was also the equipment person. He covered the Saturday football game like tonight. He'd come in on a Sunday, he'd do laundry, do an injury check, 7 days a week. Most of these days were more than 8-hour days. He also gave his time to the performing arts department, covering some of the more physical shows for Mary Devore about. He did this as a volunteer. The equipment position was eventually hired, and that took the his office back. He came in on Sundays to do an injury check. This guy worked 7 days a week for about 5 years. He's our best guy. So, without question, Jimmy is the hardest working athletic trainer I've ever met. Much respect. For those of you who know Jimmy, and what makes him special is his sense of humor. With his quick wit and one-liners, some of which I can't repeat on this microphone, and you all know which one-liner we're talking about, right? Jimmy's also a great storyteller and does some great impersonations. Tommy Prothro, Tommy Coryell, I know you Chargers guys know what I'm talking about. Jimmy always had his laughing humor, and it's just fun to hear. A great environment to be in, and I always loved looking forward to coming to work every day just because I got to work out with Jimmy. But last but not least is love. The love comes in when you really get to know Jimmy. And many of you here tonight because you really got to know what Jimmy's all about. Jimmy's got the biggest heart of anyone I've ever met. He's always willing to help anyone with anything, and he's never said no. I have so many memories of him helping others, and not just directly through what we do professionally. Like, how many of you guys remember them zipping around this campus on that green and yellow down here, right? He flew around everywhere. What you don't know is he'd pick up random people and bring them into the training room just because he thought they needed help. But do that, like, where you really don't see him. I remember walking around the floor, seeing him pull money out of his pocket and giving it to student athletes. I've seen him take them to the bus stop. Well, he'd take them on. This guy helped. He's anyway. This guy is literally the guy that brought this back. Jimmy's all these things. He's a hard worker. He's a special person, and we don't have a lot of love for him because he helps everybody. But for me, he's also a constant reminder that life is about relationships. And I'm talking face-to-face relationships, not through email or text, personally. But I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out here and making this a very special evening. Forever commemorating a man who's meant so much to so many people. I can tell it's about to around the audience. So, well, thank you for being
We're proud to have Jimmy Hammond's name associated with Southwestern College and our athletic department and the School of Wellness, Exercise, Science, and Athletics. We are deeply grateful to the following donors who, through their generosity, made it possible to provide a well-deserved naming, recognition, and memorial plaque for an honorable man. officially dedicate and name the Athletic Training Center as the James Hammond Athletic Training Center. The poster board that stands here to the left of me, this will be a plaque that will also be placed in that same area. I'm looking to make sure Jimmy's approved. I don't know, he gave me a smirk. All right, without further ado, our special guest of honor, Jimmy Hammond.
Well, I want to say one thing. Thank you to all these people who supported me over the years. I have this happen. Yes, you have to. So thank you to the athletes for all coming to here. We had some good times, bad times. To have this honor here, anyway, the thing is, I don't think I was saying this story this time. Every one of these people standing right there, I worked with for many years, trainers. Thank you. That's how we do. So, thank you so much. I have no idea what you're going to talk about the lives. I'm very thankful for everything that you're doing. So God bless.
All right, from here forward forever, the James Hammond Athletic Training Center. It's a wrap.
Great job by Athletic Director Ron Valenzuela and the Southwestern staff recognizing one of the greats, living legend James Hammond. They have named the Athletic Training Center after Jimmy Hammond Hambone, and you can see them near midfield.
Yeah, he's surrounded by a lot of those are former coaches, and some of whom who played here as well.
All right, let's get into the stats. Thank you, Chris Davis, very much for providing these halftime stats for us.
I'm going to take a guess. It's a lot of Mount Jacinto stats, especially for the quarterback.
Who do you want to start with?
Quarterback.
All right, Logan Gonzalez. We talked about his efficiency through the air, 18 of 20 for a $184 and a touchdown as top receiver. Koa Apana, 5 receptions for 60 yards, had the 1 receiving touchdown on the night.
Is that a perfect passer rating? I mean, I'm taking 90% in any sport, but especially on the football field. Yeah, now we know why he throws the ball 50 times a game.
Daniel Mendoza had a rushing touchdown. Jamarcus Clemens with a rushing touchdown as well. Sams had 2 receptions for 45 yards. Kretz with 2 receptions for 28 yards.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a well-balanced offense and a good quarterback because everyone has touches.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 different receivers
In
with a
one,
reception.
in one half of football.
Right.
So my suggestion and my hope is that's what the Jaguars need to do. Spread the ball around. Yeah, you get your main guys more touches, but can't be predictable.
Connor Underhill, 8 of 14 for 68 yards. Noah Carey led the receiving corps with 3 receptions for 11 yards in receptions, but Jaheim Williams, 2 receptions for 30 yards. He also had 7 rush attempts for 15 yards on the ground. Cuevas Ibarra had a field goal for 36 yards, Southwestern's only points in the first half. And Kuczynski, 3 of 3 on extra points and a banged a 38-yarder as well. On the defensive side, leading the way is Deshaun Brooks for Mount San Jacinto, and Jack Stahl with 6 tackles in the first half up front for the Jaguars.
Well, if the Jaguars are going to get back in this, I think Williams' touches needs to go up to get to 20. Jefferson and Yokley both need to have 5 catches apiece in the second half.
Yeah. Josiah Jefferson had the best opportunity for a touchdown, was unable to bring it in near the goal line.
Yeah, how many catches does he have?
1 for 8.
And Yokley?
2 for 19.
Yeah, so they need to get the ball in those guys' hands. 100%.
Let's see, time of possession. Actually, that last drive for the Jaguars kind of cut it close to 50, 57, a little over 17 minutes for San Jacinto and a little under 13 minutes for the Jags.
Yeah, true. And then the Jaguars came away with a field goal.
Yeah.
And then they had a short kick and a penalty, gave them a short field, and Mount San Jacinto got the touchdown.
Third down efficiency, also a thorn in the Jaguars' side. 1 of 6 on third down. And, I mean, one of the reasons why the Eagles have been so good on third down is because they've been in third and short.
Yeah, third and short versus third and long.
Right. 5 for 6 on third downs. Jaguars are going to start with the ball. We talked about it at the end of the first half. One way to create momentum for the team as a whole, special teams.
Yeah, don't be fair catching kickoffs, man. Return that sucker. See, like even I don't know if ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can hear, but the Mount San Jacinto sideline players went, oh, like come on, man, like don't.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw really that. I can't remember the last time I remember seeing.
Well,
that.
I just don't understand conceding starting on the 25 when you're catching the ball and the kickoff team's not even, you have a chance to make a big play. It's not like you dropped your. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for the fair catches on kickoff.
We're belaboring that point, but we'll move on. Here we go. Quick hit near side.
All right.
Josiah Jefferson with a nice grab.
Thank you.
Shakes through 2 tackles.
Thank you.
Nice 8-yard gain for Jefferson. His 3rd grab on the night.
Need to see a
Big
lot more
body
of that.
tight end out of Modern Day. You have some updated scores, partner?
Yeah, Mount San Antonio 35-7 at halftime over Cerritos. Little bit of surprise. Halftime, Palomar's ahead up on Saddleback, who actually pulled out a victory over Mesa last week when Mesa's been rolling.
Yokley in motion. Handoff Williams. Gets hit near the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for 1. Brings up a 3rd and 1 for the Jags. Saddleback beat the Jaguars at home 38-10 about 3 weeks back.
Yeah, they've been on a pretty good tear as of late.
Jaguars 1 of 6 On third down, a 3rd and 1. Williams gets caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think he got it. They're gonna
It's
have
one of those where you plant and just get upfield for 1.
Yeah, that time he tried to do a little too much. He needed to treat the yard marker like it's the end zone. See, okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're just going to try to get him to jump. They're not actually going to go for this. Because in my mind, you can't go from super passive to overly aggressive. Oh, they did go for it. He got it.
Job by
Good job by the
Underhill,
quarterback.
realizing that the linebacker, and he's going to pick up a flag.
Yeah, he slid. So I get the penalty, but as a defender, I'd be kind of upset because he slid late. And if you're already committed to a hit, you know, it's the law of physics and gravity and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the Eagles started light in the box, only with 5, brought up that Mike linebacker, and there was nothing on the outside. Great heads-up play by Underhill.
Really good recognition by the quarterback, but again, that's why he's in there.
Yeah.
That mobility.
Moves the ball into Eagle territory.
In full disclosure, I pretty much can't stand any of those defenseless receiver, sliding quarterback. It just.
Are you a defensive guy?
Yes,
Can't
I
remember.
hate that. That's why I could have. I was both, and then I stuck to defense because I like to hit people.
Underhill
Good throw. Oh, you got to connect that.
overthrows his intended receiver. Had time. Great job by that front of the Jaguars, giving Underhill.
Yeah. However, in his defense, that's what happens when you've been under duress and you don't really trust your O-line to hold up. You kind of see how he kind of double clutched and had a little bit of
His
happy feet.
Were not there where they were supposed to be.
Yeah, and his feet
to make
weren't
that
set
throw.
because he didn't believe. But hopefully
That's a
they
good
can build on that and he can set his feet the next time and they can get some continuity and the rhythm going.
Jefferson comes off the pitch.
Slot
Underhill looks near side. Great one-on-one coverage right
good
there.
coverage there. No
That was a
separation.
linebacker in coverage as well.
Yeah, no separation at all. Downhill, got in that hip.
Riley Flores. Yeah, and obviously when you're under duress like Underhill was in the first half, it's really one read and escape the pocket.
Yeah, and he's been under duress the whole season.
Yeah,
And they didn't play last week, so that's why I give him just a little bit of leeway, just
Yeah.
a little bit. Got
Yoakley
single
one-on-one
coverage.
on the outside.
There you go.
Got to take advantage of that. Look like a new quarterback.
Yep. So I'm wondering
Snuck
if he got
one in.
dinged up on that hit. Yeah, so he's down here on the sideline. He's right here on the 25. So even from a defensive coach standpoint, that's why you take the hits on the quarterbacks. I'm not happy to see it, but you always hit the quarterback when you can.
That ball was thrown with the left hand, right?
Yeah, number
Yeah.
18.
So Hunter Maxwell is their usual backup quarterback.
That might have. So being a lifetime punt returner, I would have been upset I didn't get a halo call right there because the defender was very close to him.
Breathing on him at that point.
Yeah.
Jaguars unable to convert after getting into Eagle territory. This will be the first offensive possession for the Eagles.
Well,
2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. Gonzalez 18 of 20 for a $186. Efficiency at its finest.
Yeah,
Whether
every
you're
time I
shooting
hear
free throws
that.
or-
Yeah. School. Anywhere.
As mentioned pregame, Gonzalez averaging 300 yards per game through the air. He's going to get his first crack here in the second half. Mendoza on the handoff up the gut. Plows forward. Picks up 5.
Yeah, starting where they left off, though.
Ethan Gallegos warming up, number 16. That's who came in that last play of the game. Hunter Maxwell must be injured right now.
It was his hand that they were looking at. Uh-oh.
Mendoza breaks through a couple tackles,
Yep.
lowers the shoulder,
Yeah, that's a good
and
hard
picks
run.
up a first down. Let's see how our instant
yeah,
replay
that's
is working.
a good hard run there.
Yeah, instant replay is just not with us
Not
today.
cooperating.
That's all right.
Just the Jaguars didn't set the edge well, and he just kept running downhill and running hard.
Mendoza's just picking up steam as this game goes on. One of those guys where, any running back when they're getting 10, 15 touches and they're running downhill makes it tougher on the defense.
Yeah.
Gonzalez
There it is again.
fires it far side to his top receiver. Once again, Jackson Wang had 3 receptions in that first half, now make it 4 on the night.
Same route, too. So just seeing him run, he seemed like a sure-handed guy. But me as a coach and as a former DB, I don't think he's a burner.
Right.
I want he needs to show me that he can go vertical. So I'm getting closer,
Right.
and I'm probably pressing him all the time. I'm not playing off. Because right here, though, the post is open if he wants to run a post.
Gonzalez rolls right,
Oh,
near
good
side,
throw.
has a receiver at the 40. Brought in by Christian Kretz.
That's just a really, really good throw.
23-yard reception.
So the Jaguars coach is probably telling that backer that against this team, you get to your initial depth, which same thing I tell my guys. You get to your 10 to 12 depth, but if the ball's not out, you got to keep sinking because the route's going to get a little bit deeper. And that time, he rolled out, he just held the ball, and he just laid it in perfectly right over the linebacker's head. Great touch. Jaguars got to get a stop here.
Split formation. Off the left side.
Just didn't keep his feet. So he didn't make the tackle, but he made the play.
Darius Johnson.
Yeah, he needs to just run through your tackles.
That's what Gonzalez has done a good job as well. When that initial read isn't there, he's extending the play with his legs.
Yes.
Not necessarily running and tucking, but keeping his eyes downfield.
Yeah, and that's the mark of a good quarterback is keep your eyes down the field because somebody might break open.
Upon a single-side receiver at the bottom of your screen. Gonzalez looks far side, fires it once again to Wang.
Same old.
5 receptions for Wang, all on hitches.
Yeah, they're just he's running like a 6-yard stop every time, and it's like you're playing off. So when you're playing like that, eventually, if they want to, they are going to run a stop and go.
Right.
And the way they're playing, the corner's a little too far outside. He's not really taking away any inside routes. So the quick slant is there and the skinny post. Again, I'd be pressing him every single play.
Eagles in the same formation.
There's
Gonzalez.
there. He tried to do it there.
Help over the top. Hits his running back in the flats. Lowers his shoulder.
Yeah.
Nice open field tackle.
So no, I'm not in their headset. I can't hear their play call or anything. But the very next play, I call it the lazy stop and go, where you just spin. So instead of a hitch, they did a stop and go.
Well,
but
and even right there, they had him bracketed, right?
that
So
time they
knowing
had him
that you
bracketed.
have help over the top,
why aren't you pressing? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But what ended up happening? Yeah. Okay. So I thought they were going to pick it up because they were going to throw illegal content, but the ball was being thrown the other way.
yeah. And that's a good
And
point
the-
to mention
And the
in
ball wasn't
junior
out yet.
college.
Yeah, and I coach high school, and I'd be like, the kids, the youngsters actually think they only can jam, and then they got to let them
5
go.
yards
I'm like,
downfield,
nah,
right?
man, beat that dude up. If they run a stop and go, smack them. Just hit them.
Right, you're already coming down on that line anyway. Might as well run through.
Yeah, you get to be more aggressive. Don't be less aggressive. The rules will change if you ever make it to the league. Yeah, shoot. Be
Wang.
aggressive.
Wang now the single side receiver at the bottom of your screen. Mendoza in motion.
Backside.
He's going to go to Wang. inside the 10 and broken up nicely by the corner.
Yeah, that's a good throw again by that quarterback. I'll be mad at him for messing up my completion percentage.
Yeah, hit him right in the
hit him right in the hands, then the chest, then the hands again, then the ground.
Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 5. 8:37. This is the opening drive for the Eagles here in the second half. We've seen one empty set, and it resulted in a touchdown to Apana.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did QB draw here. Good throw. Bad angle.
At the 15, gets inside.
Yeah, that's going to move the chains.
That's Kretz once again. So we mentioned it, 10 different receivers with a catch, and Gonzalez doing the same thing here, spreading the ball around.
Yeah, and you got to cover the whole field. That's why he's, in my opinion, why he's so efficient. He's decisive, he's accurate, he makes good decisions. And that's kind of where you go with quarterbacks: decision-making, decisiveness, and accuracy.
Johnson, the single back, 6 in the box for the Jags.
Very smart.
Quarterback keeps, has his receiver in the flats. That's Apana.
Yeah.
And Apana gets in for the score.
Yeah, that's how you run an RPO to a T.
We're seeing a lot of lateral movements, too, on like hook and ladders and things like that. And that's just like a simplified version from an RPO.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons. There's a number of reasons, but that's one of the reasons I like an odd front, which is what I run. So what I do is, if I'm playing an RPO team, the way to beat an RPO team or a team that does that is you actually play man. But then you still have a person that can spy the quarterback in case the quarterback pulls it.
On the odd side.
So, but no matter what the formation in my scheme, somebody always has the quarterback because you have extra people. So you can spy 2 people. You can spy any person with 2 people, or you can spy 2 people with 1 person, if that's in your scheme. So a lot of 4-down schemes, they're basically saying, I hope the quarterback doesn't break contain, and I hope the quarterback doesn't pull it, because the end is responsible for the back and the quarterback.
They're not going to be blocking the end. They're going to let him go.
Right. But if you run an odd scheme and you
have that extra guy.
You have the extra guy,
Right.
and a lot of at least the way I do it, they don't know who to read. So who's the end? Is the end the end, or is the end the rover, that outside backer who's at the line of scrimmage?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So to each their own, but that's one of the reasons why I do it that way, because I don't want to be in any situation where I go, we're good, I just hope they don't do this or they don't do
Right.
that.
You don't want to put your defensive end in a position where he has to make that decision.
Yeah, and especially if you
With
have
no help on
and
the outside.
especially if you have a defense. Let's say you have a defensive end that has a motor and he's aggressive, but if he has to play the read, by definition he has to slow down. So why don't I let him use his
Taking away
motor
his strength.
and taking away his strength, and then
Right.
put somebody outside of him to protect him, if that makes sense.
Williams bounces it to the
There you
edge.
go.
Spins
Good
off
run.
a tackle.
Good hard run.
You know, you mentioned it too. The way Williams runs with the ball in his hands, like, why not put him on special teams right now if no one else is going to return the ball?
Put him back on kickoff return.
Because, I mean, you mentioned also in the first half, there's just some guys that do it through their play.
Yeah,
Right? You can tell, even from up here, that those guys want to make those big plays.
Yeah, football is a mentality, but it's a collective mentality. Like, you can't just have one guy that has a mentality. But if you have that one guy that has a mentality and you utilize him, then a little bit of him kind of carries over to the next guy. It's a good cut.
Williams again.
Yeah, that
Has
play's
to
blown up.
beat 4 guys.
Yeah, so that was good penetration by 97. He just blew the play up. Anytime the back has to cut, as soon as he gets the ball, you're going to have a problem, especially against a fast defense.
And Gallegos is still in the game. Underhill on the sideline with the helmet in his hand. It looks like they're still talking about his hand. But Gallegos hasn't shown the ability to stretch the field at all, so
Yeah, so
They're going to stack the box and
they're going to play man. They're going to bring
Yeah.
pressure. That's what I would do. I'd be coming every play.
Williams again off the right side. Has some room to run and picks up a first down. Late flag.
Yeah, it's getting a little chippy now.
This is where if you're the Jaguars down 28, I mean, keeping your cool is
Well,
an understatement.
it's how should I phrase this? So, a lot of times when teams get down, if they get down big and then they start tussling, let him make his call. Yeah, that started. They were locked up, and it looked like he was trying to get off of a block or a hold, and then they spun around and they just kept going. So when the games get lopsided, when guys start fussing and tussling, either side, it's like whoa. Where was that at the start of the game? So to me, when that happens, that's you losing control of your emotions. Where if you're feisty, not out of control, but you got a collective fight in you as a team, that's a different story. That you look for. Football, you got to control your emotions and channel them as a group.
Williams again tries to stretch it, but once again the speed
Too fast.
of the Eagles flying to the ball carrier.
And that's why I put tell Frank Father he'd be a safety. Because his range and ability to run.
The TFL.
And I'll never
Lost
forget.
at
I mean,
6.
it's a high school senior. He's like, "You sure? You really think so?" I'm like, "I'm 100% positive. You're not a box linebacker. You can come down in the box sometimes, but that's not where you're gonna make your living." That's really good pursuit there. That's a 30 to 40 yard run for the backside safety.
You're saying from his starting position before snap coming down.
Yeah, he ran 40 yards to make that tackle.
Yeah.
That's what they need, how they need to run the ball. But on second and long, it's not going to do it. So here's the dilemma for the Jaguars, and I'm taking my announcer. This is as a fan. Okay, you're getting beat, but you gotta back up quarterback in. But to me, it doesn't look like you're trying to give him the opportunity. Like, you want your team, you want to try to score. So I'm really curious what the third down call is on 3rd and 14 here. Me, I take a shot up at the top.
1-on-1.
So
And the Eagles are just feasting right now on the ball carrier.
So to be on your 43-yard line and to run a draw play is not trying to give your team a chance to have success, in my opinion.
Down 28, what do you have to lose? Right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in certain situations, right, 3rd and long, we don't want to turn the ball over. You know.
Well, here's the big picture point. What if the starting quarterback just broke his throwing hand and he's done for the rest of the season, since we're mid-season?
Yeah.
If this is the guy who's going to be your quarterback, he has to learn how to be your quarterback. And there's right now there's
no better time to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Under fire, like throw a screen, throw a over-under route. Uh-oh. Yeah, as a coach and as a fan, just from a mentality, culture standpoint, I don't like running a draw on 3rd and 15 from your 40-yard line. If you're going to punt
straight
anyway.
runs.
Yeah, if you're going to punt, okay.
Well, that's what he's saying. 1-on-1 coverage, go over the top. Worst
Yeah.
thing that happens, interception,
Throw
fall
a
on the
9,
ground.
throw a 9, and he's playing.
Yeah.
He's pressing plus coverage.
He's daring you to throw.
He's daring you to throw it. Throw
Yeah.
a 9. If either you complete it or you throw it out of bounds.
Right.
Or you get maybe a defensive holding or something. You got your best guy. But, to not try just is frustrating to me as a fan of the sport.
Well, you're an alum too, so a little bit of your passion comes from you just wanting to see.
Yeah, and again, that fire. So full disclosure, when I played here, I came from a really, really good defense in high school, and we were an atrocious defense. Like, we're giving up 40 points a game because our front was bad. However, we had a secondary where we were all guys who were like ballers. Every one of us in the secondary got Division I scholarships and had multiple options because we were like, hey man, we don't play to score, we play every play. And at the junior college level, you're trying to get to the next level and earn a scholarship. So when your team is struggling, if you're still playing at the same speed, now you actually stand out more because you're actually on the camera, like people are saying, oh, look at that guy. Oh, he's flying around. Oh, he's got heart. That's the type of player I want on my team. So for me, having been a D coordinator in junior college, that's what I'm looking for. Who's still balling out there?
Gonzalez play fake. Hits his top target, Apana, over the middle. Well, belaboring the point again, but we're trying to create some big plays for reals, right? For next level. And kickoff. I mean, that's one of those. It's the last time
I'm a lifetime. I return punts and kickoffs my entire career from youth, Pop Warner, all the way up, even to getting paid. I'm not trying to fair catch if I don't have to fair catch, and I'm definitely not fair catching a kickoff. That's just it's offensive to me as a return man.
Gonzalez fires it far side again. Easy pitch and catch to his next top target, Wang.
Yeah, on 2nd and 6.
Wang has 7 or 8 grabs and has run one route throughout. Kretz in motion.
There's that counter. Oh, that's trouble.
Johnson bounces it to the
yeah,
edge.
That's trouble.
Jumps over a defender.
And they
gets
hit out
to
of
the
bounds
40.
Too. They're lucky they didn't get a flag there. Yeah, you can see that set up from the beginning. Blocking was good at the point of attack, and the corner had a bad angle for the tackle.
18-yard gain for Johnson. And the efficiency through the air is now opening up lanes for the running back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're making you cover the whole field, and they're keeping the team off balance. They're running some of the same plays, but they're running it the opposite direction. So they have to cover the whole field.
Johnson stays in as a single back. Gets a handoff off the left side.
That was played well there. So, see?
Chris Fuel getting in on the action. Late flag thrown after the play. That's what you were just touching on a moment ago.
Yeah, you're down 31-3 at home. Enough said. Play better. And just think of let's say you're a recruiter. You're the West Coast recruiter for a Division I school, and you're watching a full game film, and it's a toss-up between one guy and another guy. Little things like that are what makes the difference of, okay, we're going to go with him as opposed to him. This is building your resume, young men.
Johnson this time up the middle. Once again, another lane. Gets to the second level untouched. Picked up 11 on the first down. Keeps the chains moving.
Yeah, that was a good run, except if the DN, when the tackle blocks down, you need to step down the line and replace him. He took one step too far up the field and kind of hopped and then got off balance. That's why he missed the tackle. If we had a replay, I'd show you. Take my word
I mean,
for
it's
it.
similar to like what a trap. I mean, that was kind of somewhat of a trap right there. Two wing guys.
Yeah, you have to have your technique and your footwork right in order to play that.
Fires it far side once again. Another easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, so
And I mean, they just keep dialing that up.
They took out the starter. That's why their sideline's going wild. They put in a backup who hasn't played yet. This is his first action.
Max Hunter.
And he ran the same route, same result, because the Jaguars haven't adjusted defensively.
The Eagles.
All five backup skill players.
Gonzalez keeps his eyes downfield. Doesn't want to mess up
Right.
that passer rating.
Yeah, and,
So he
and
keeps.
something subtle, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you picked up on it. So he was thinking about doing an RPO, and then he ran. He got close to the line of scrimmage, but he had the wherewithal and the presence to not go over the line of scrimmage,
Right.
so he still had the option.
Yeah.
Smart quarterback.
Yeah, he's been impressive. I mean, we knew coming into this game he was averaging over 300 passing yards per game, but it's been more than that for him here today.
It's the full package, and that's what you're looking for at the next level.
When he's needed to use his legs, he has. I mean, we even saw in that 3rd and 7, one-on-one with the linebacker in open field and kind of just ran through him.
Yeah. So he's shown toughness. He's shown good decision-making.
Extending plays with his legs.
Extending plays, accuracy.
Yeah.
Making the right decision. It's just the total package. Like we've seen a couple of good quarterbacks. The one we saw early in the season from Long Beach was really efficient.
Right.
However, I would rather have this guy because he's good at more things.
End of the 3rd quarter. Start of the 4th. Eagles with a 31-3 lead. On the season, the Eagles averaging 23 points per game, allowing 35. On the offensive side, averaging 304 through the air and only 33 rushing yards. But I mean, they've quadrupled that amount on the ground here today.
Well, I can see why some of the other teams with more prolific offenses are scoring, because they pass so much that the game goes longer and the other team does have opportunity to possess the ball.
Johnson had to stop in the backfield, breaks through a tackle, and picks up 10 for another first down. Darius Johnson doing a great job relieving Mendoza of his starting duties. And it's been Mendoza and Johnson in the backfield. Have looked impressive here today for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's snowballing now.
First and goal. Ball at the Jaguar 9. And Johnson just getting to that second level untouched. Gets tackled at the 2. And it's going to get right up on the line.
Yeah, so they might have just, I don't know what their call is, but they're probably running the same play. There it is.
Johnson gets hit in the backfield. And a great tackle for loss. Jeremiah Jones.
Yeah, a lot of times when teams just run back to the line of scrimmage, they're just running the same play back again.
Yeah, smart play by Jones.
Yeah, you usually can tell if a team has called 2 plays.
Yeah, no, that
because
one
they
was
usually
just
call a timeout or there's some kind of tip off. But if they just hustle back to the line of scrimmage without those tip off, it's typically the same play.
with no signals being given.
Yes, the same play usually.
3rd and goal from the 6. Play fake. Gonzalez looking to run it in.
That's there.
But that's going to be stopped by the defensive end from the Jaguars.
It's a good play there.
Frankie Omedo, the outside linebacker out of Chula Vista. Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back years as a junior and senior for the Spartans. Played on this field. Played against you, partner. In a D4 championship game. Last year.
True. Solid player, but the collective scores were, 42-0 and 35-14. So
Is that what happened?
It's a team sport.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Good player, though.
And at this juncture of the game, it's plays like that get you more playing time in future weeks.
Yeah, and again, belaboring the point, but you're not just thinking about this game in future weeks. You're thinking about, are you extending your career?
Right.
So if to me, if you're not trying to move on and get school paid for, why are you playing junior college football? If you're playing junior college football, it should be using this as a stepping stone, in my opinion. Otherwise, you just have a love for the game, then you should be showing passion during the game.
Kuczynski.
They missed that one. That's the one chink I think that I've seen from Mount San Jack. Their kicking game is, at least from a field goal standpoint, the distance and the accuracy is not very good, which might hurt them later on in tighter games.
Against a better quality opponent. Well, after this, it doesn't get much easier for the Jaguars on the road at Riverside. That's going to be another gut check. And then at Mesa, which, Mesa has been holding it down here in the county for quite some time.
Yeah, Mesa's typically the team to beat in the area, and they're trending upward. They had a setback last week, but that usually focuses you up for the rest of the season.
Underhill back in the game. It's good to see that.
Good to see that for sure. Flag in the backfield, though.
Hits Josiah Jefferson on the pass. Got some updated scores, partner?
Third quarter, late in the third, Saddleback 14, Palomar 14. Palomar's been playing pretty good defense. They just had trouble scoring, so that trend seems to be the same. Bakersfield 34-21 over Allen Hancock. I think Mesa has a night off. Mount Sac is big over Cerritos. That was a lateral pass. That looked like a lateral for sure. Yeah. And he looked like he was in pain after that as well.
Lateral pass is going to bring up a 2nd and 16. Once again, thank you to Chris Davis providing the in-game stats. Gonzalez, 27 of 30 for 278 and 2 touchdowns. Quarterback. Williams had a nice lane.
Yeah.
Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
See, you can just tell that he's moving at a different speed than everybody else, which is why they really need to get him more touches. And as I mentioned at halftime, Yokley is in the game, correct? Yes, he is.
He had those first couple targets. They showed a concerted effort to try to get him the ball early, but we haven't seen or heard from him.
Yeah, but that's the nature of playing receiver. Your touches are, and then he false started. That was him false starting. So the nature of being a receiver is you can't put up numbers unless your quarterback targets you. You got to get the ball thrown to you. You're not in control of your numbers.
Well, it's also designing plays for him as well.
Yeah, true.
Because we've
or
only
at
seen
least
him
have him be the first option.
We've only seen him line up on the outside.
Yeah, so why don't you get them in motion? Why don't you put them in the slot? Why don't you how about some wide receiver screens? There's a myriad different ways you can get somebody the ball and get them involved. Change the formation. How about not have them play X, put him off the line, put him in motion, put him on the other side of the field, line him up in the backfield and then shift him to the slot. There's a number of things they can do to get the ball
Find
to
ways,
people they
yeah.
want to get the ball to.
Yeah. You know, you talk about systems in the NFL, right? You think of the Niners, you think of the Chiefs. Like they rotate guys in and out.
Yeah,
and
but
they just continue to put up numbers because they're just the offensive scheme. It doesn't matter who or what. They just find those spots.
well, that's the Chiefs are a good example because Travis Kelce is going to get the ball. Everybody in America and across the globe knows he's going to get the ball, but they're going to move him around
Right.
and put him in position to get the ball. And then if all else fails, if Mahomes has to scramble, that's the first guy he's looking for. So I don't see a concerted effort to get any particular person the ball or to design plays that are designed to free them up. They're missing somebody on the punt team.
And another draw on 3rd and long brings up a 4th and 14. Coach Rodriguez is going to have to call a timeout. The Eagles came in this game 3-2. You like what you see from them? You said defensively a little small, but I mean sideline to sideline they've been good.
Yeah, they're kind of what I expected. Truth be told, it's hard to judge against Southwestern. Just from style of play, and they're not getting. So the reason I say that Southwestern's not a power football team. So I need to see how Mount San Jacinto plays against a power football team, and then conversely, I really don't know how good Mount San Jacinto's corners are because their corners haven't been tested. So I don't have enough body of work to really judge because I haven't watched them play anybody else. I just kind of know their history.
Tim Garcia on to punt for the Jaguars. Nice high booming kick. Had some space, but fair caught by Sams at the 37.
Maybe the
Flag on the far side of the field.
punt returner rules, the way they teach it are different because my rules always, if I can catch the ball and take one step, I'm probably going to not fair catch because the guy who's running down trying to knock your head off, if you can take one step.
Blindside block. After
The fact that was
Yeah.
unnecessary after any fair catching.
Yeah.
So for me, at least when I was back there, if I can take one step, I'm not really worried about the guy trying to kill me because he's probably going to miss and slide into the ground. It's the guys who break down. If guys are breaking down in front of you, you have to rethink things.
Actually, they're marking it off in favor of the Eagles. So I
so
think the
somebody-
white cap might have pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, so that somebody must have taken a cheap shot then.
Once again, thank you, Chris Davis, for the in-game stats. It's been nice to have Gonzalez back
that
onto
helps
the
a lot.
field.
Surprised he's still in, by the way.
He's just handing the ball off at this point. Another nice lane for the running back.
Yeah, and conversely, this would be a good time for them to get the backup some work.
Alres Vega with the 8-yard run.
Especially since they did wholesale changes with the skill players. I think they only start. Well, actually, they brought a couple back in,
They did.
but I would like to see let them get their backup quarterback some work in a 4-score game in the fourth quarter.
Using the receiver as the lead blocker, Vega gets near the first down marker. And, it's just another way of disguising the same run, right? Using or a running back or using a receiver, putting him in motion, setting him at the wing, and using him as a lead block. We've also seen them use double wing tights, where they're using those tight ends, those big guys, for lead blockers.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
there's a variety of ways to not have a fullback but still have a lead blocker.
Yeah, true. But in all those scenarios, though, the ball has typically come back to the other direction, away from the motion, or even if the guy sits a wing, he usually comes back across the formation.
Vega bounces
Good
it
run.
to the outside.
Matter of fact, there's a high school team that I'll be seeing pretty soon that tries to do that and blocks across the formation.
Big game next week. The longest running rivalry in San Diego County for high school football. Chula Vista taking on Sweetwater,
Yeah, man. That's,
west of the 805.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I'm a Sweetwater alum. He's a Chula Vista alum. and I'm the DC for Sweetwater. So it's like Ohio State versus Michigan. It's
When it
amazing
comes
that
to the South Bay,
it's amazing that the two of us can get along the way we do.
Split back
There it
formation
is.
again. Flag thrown at the snap.
Blow the whistle, man.
Yeah, you could hear it even on the far side.
That almost turned into a rugby scrum.
I believe a legal formation right here is what we're going to get. Or false start. Oh, legal formation, yeah. Jaguars are going to end the season with 2 home games against 2 local junior colleges, Grossmont and Palomar. Gonzalez, now 28 of 31
Good throw there.
on the run.
See, and they're up, and he actually had a small window to throw the corner route, but good quarterback. He didn't get greedy. He took the completion out,
percentage.
the higher percentage,
Yeah.
more likely throw that was going to be completed there. That's really impressive to me from a young quarterback.
Would you consider those 2 home games to end the season like season-saving games for the Jaguars?
It's setting the tone for your recruiting and for your offseason.
Because you're battling against those schools to
You're-
get those recruits.
Yeah, you're battling against 2 schools that you are actually trying to get local guys. And when I
Yeah.
say local, I mean all of San Diego
All of
County.
San Diego, right.
And they're not high-powered offenses, so if you make a special teams play or you get a interception for a touchdown, you should
Those
be
will
able
be
to.
game decisive.
Yeah, you don't have much. So the Jaguars don't have a lot of margin for error. They just have to make their plays and not give up big plays. Uh-oh.
Johnson,
Good
once
hard run.
again, gets that second level untouched, falls forward,
Yeah, that's
and they're just chunk plays right now.
yeah, but that's a problem with 6.5 minutes left in the game, to where you're running in between the tackles and you're getting 6 yards down the field before you get touched by anyone.
You can hear the coaching staff say, do it again.
Yep.
Coming up on the 6-minute
And
mark.
they're gonna do it again.
This time he bounces it,
Touchdown.
gets inside the 5, dives towards the goal line. Touchdown, Eagles. That is now 4 rushing touchdowns on the night for the Eagles. And they just keep improving on that lead. Now up 37-3 with 6:03 remaining in the 4th.
The one thing they will see when they play Palomar is a power running game, though. They will stick to that run game.
Christian Hall, right? Back
Yeah,
there at
they-
Palomar.
Yeah, and they
Cathedral product.
a lot of times they run that offset eye, and they're gonna
Just
pin and
downhill.
pull downhill.
Yeah.
They do a lot of motion, like just for show, and it's still basically power football. And then they typically have a small quarterback who can keep it and run. So should be interesting matchup.
All right, partner. We're going to get a return right here. We got to get something going.
Yeah, why still if not, why still have the same person back there who keeps fair catching?
And
Especially when he hasn't gotten a lot of touches.
Southwestern sideline is deflated right now.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Fair catch at the 10.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to make an assumption, because it is Yokley back there, that they're just saying, we got a sure-handed guy back there, we're just going to catch the ball, and we're going to start our drives on the 25.
Yeah,
because they haven't even tried.
We talk about ways to get the ball in Yokley's hand.
Exactly. He's in the open field already. Exactly.
They're in essence, they're doing your job for you on kickoff.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I knew we had the same,
Yeah.
same thought pattern there.
Cruz on the handoff, tries to stretch it out. And we've seen that throughout. The stretch just not there for the running backs of Southwestern.
Yeah, and Xavier's a downhill guy. He needs to be running north and south.
McGowan comes on to the field for the first time tonight. Product out of Mount McGowan. I know you coach McGowan.
Yeah, he was having a really, really good season, and he had a bad ankle injury.
You're talking about his senior season.
Yeah. He was a really
Shifty
good
back.
player. Shifty. That was a big loss.
Make guys miss in tight
yeah.
spots.
Good out of the backfield.
Quarterback keeps Underhill. I mean, this is a situation where you need a healthy quarterback for next game.
Ironically, that's the one thing I would not be doing. At
The
this
last thing.
point,
Right.
is that first quarter, man. Not when you're down 38-3 and he's already banged up. So creative differences.
Yeah, if you're the OC, you're telling your quarterback to hand the ball off every single time at this
No,
point.
actually, well, if it's me, the backup quarterback is in,
Yeah.
and we're trying to get a rhythm for him in case he has to play. Because that's 3rd and 8 right there.
And the punt team back on for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that the Jaguars are losing games. It's just the lack of competitiveness that makes it tough to watch. As Garcia, line drive kick, bounces at the 45.
Pick it up now.
Jaguars special teams in punt and kickoff have been good today. That's
So
one bright spot.
To finish off your thought, it's not always how you win or it's not if you win or lose every time, but how you win or lose matters, and it's revealing. One of the most frustrating things in sports and in life is woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Always give your best effort. If not, what's the point of doing anything?
New quarterback in for the Eagles. Gavin Roth. That'll end the night for Logan Gonzalez. I think we had him at 28 for 31, just under 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great night for him.
Yeah, impressive is an understatement with those numbers.
I can't remember the last time I saw a quarterback with 30-plus pass attempts and only 3 incompletions.
Yeah, and remember one of them was a drop too.
Yeah. Once again, another. I thought they were going to run a counter. Well, actually, everyone was running a counter except for the quarterback. We saw the strong side shift coming back to the weak side.
Yeah, and our RPOs are hard on officials too.
Right. Legal men downfield.
A lot of more. So
that's the one call that gets me, man.
Being a defensive coordinator, I'm telling you, more often than not, one or more of those linemen are more than 2 yards downfield,
Right.
and
that's one rule I would love to see football change, just because of the evolution of RPO. And I think that's what they were calling, but because he didn't pass the ball.
yeah, it didn't turn down to the
right.
man. But yeah, it happens way more often than they actually call it.
Like, I would almost like to see that push from like 2 to 5.
Yeah, or call it the way it's supposed to call it. Then teams will stop doing it, or make it farther down the field. So then you really know if a guy's running down the field.
Because, even if the lineman gets a good push, you're pushing that defensive player more than 2 yards downfield.
True, but the rule is supposed to be if he's engaged.
Not right.
Then they're not going to call it. But a lot of times he'll
engage and then find the linebacker.
The lineman will just have a hand on the guy, like reaching out on him. He's like, he's not engaged. He's trying to hold him more.
Yeah.
Or he'll come off of the first guy and go to the second guy like it's a run play, and they still don't call it. So, yeah, you can probably, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of my pet peeves, is them not calling linemen downfield. Makes it really, really difficult to play defense if they're going to give them that advantage. Yeah, that was all discombobulated.
After this win, Mount San Jacinto is going to prove to 4-2 on the season. They did lose to Riverside 76-16. That was so nice bounce back for the Eagles after taking a tough L on the road at Riverside. They have Mesa next week.
Uh-oh.
And that's no good.
Yeah, that's never good.
Backpedaling, letting the ball hit the ground.
So before they even get to it, so the rule is, if you're not going to catch the ball in the air, you need to square up on the ball, meaning like whatever direction the ball is going, you need to be directly in front of it, even if you turn your body laterally.
Even in baseball, when you're backpedaling, you're beat.
Yeah, but the end part of that is you got to be 3 to 4 yards away from the ball when it hits.
Right.
Because if it takes off and you're too close to it, it's going to eat you up, like bounce off your shins.
Just like
what happened there. So it's twofold. It's square up. If you're going to let it bounce, be about 3 to 4 yards away from it so you can judge where it goes.
Eagles in scoring position after the turnover. Toss right. Nice open field tackle.
Good defense there. Somebody's still playing.
Yeah, he felt that one. Romajan Brown out of Scripps Ranch. At the 2-minute warning. So the Eagles, back-to-back home games against Mesa and Palomar.
Oh, okay. Those are two good matchups, actually.
At HNC Bank Stadium.
I believe they're one of the places that has a very nice, fairly new stadium as well.
Campus is in Menifee, California. They end the season with back-to-back road games at Grossmont and at Saddleback. It's going to be a good test for this Eagles team coming off a nice win here today at home against Mesa.
Yeah, I think Mesa's idle today.
Right now, what would you say the difference is between Mesa's program and the Jaguars program? Is it the consistency with the coaching staff, just them developing and, you know?
Since Watkins been there, they don't have much turnover with their staff. So they have a system. They do what they do.
Nice move by the running back in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a good run there. He's trying to get some playing time. So Mesa,
Marcus Clemens with the rushing touchdown.
they have a good head coach who's doubles as he's a good person as well. They have consistency on the coaching staff. They have some locals on the coaching staff. One of the former DC from the St. Augustine is on the staff, and they play in the same venue as St. Augustine.
Stadium. Yeah.
So and then a lot of the kids from Helix tend to go to Mesa as opposed to Grossmont or here. So they have a couple good local feeders, and then they get a few guys from out of area. And they've trended upward just a little every season. And as long as you build a good foundation, and you keep going in the right track, you're going to keep elevating.
So obviously the Jaguars program, right, restarting only one returning player out of the 90 players on the roster. How long does it take to kind of recreate and reform a program?
Well, it depends. And I wouldn't even say recreate, because this is probably actually, ironically, it's actually easy. It will be easier for Coach Rodriguez to build his culture because he is starting fresh.
Okay.
So sometimes it's actually faster if you don't have 40 guys that are from the previous coaching staff, or so. The question for me is, I'm still not sure what the identity is in direction of the team.
Because you're looking for some type of improvement halfway through the season.
Yeah, or what are you? What is your style of play? Like, I'm not sure offensively. Like, defense, I know what they're trying to do. They're just a little bit undersized up front, and they're lacking in depth, and that's with being a new program and having a bunch of freshmen that aren't used to this, the physicality of this level. But I'm still kind of unsure of what their offensive identity is. It's a little of this, it's a little of that, but
So Mesa played yesterday.
Oh, okay. On a Friday.
Beat Fullerton 2013.
Oh, that's a good win for them. So they're right back on track.
Yeah. And thank you to Chris Davis for that info. And they also have two pro head coaches as well.
Uh-oh. There you go. Run.
Underhill.
Nice run. Wouldn't be doing that, but nice run.
Well, you love to see the grit from Underhill. Obviously, this game way out of hand. And like the fact that he still wanted to come back in and play says a lot.
Yeah, that's why he's a starter. He's a tough guy, and he's obviously a leader on the team.
Cruz once again tries to stretch it out. Great open field tackle by Charles McDonald.
Yeah, when Cruz is in there, I would put him deeper and have him run downhill, because you can see the speed that he has. But he hasn't been playing running back a lot, and especially in this type of offense. So you kind of got to point him in the right direction, if that makes sense. Or I would like to see them put him in high motion and have him starting going downhill when he gets the ball. So here, he gets the edge, is going to be a problem, but see how he's
great open field tackle once again.
Yeah.
And you could hear the fan base from the visiting team, and a lot of the reason is because this is second, third string guys for Eagles making big plays.
Yeah, and those second and third string guys, when they get in, they want to play. To them, there's not going to be a let off from them. They're going to give maximum effort. There. That's still better. So even if there's either a hole or there isn't. Going to run it out or nope, got to run another play.
Southwestern's going to drop to 0-5 on the season. Still looking for that first win under the Coach Rodriguez era.
Yeah, and with having been off another week, it's weird to say
unlucky.
this. Yeah, it's weird to say this, but I don't think we're gonna really. It's gonna take we're not gonna see who they are probably until the next time we watch them play,
right?
Because they're like restarting again. You know, when you're trying to find out who you are, when you keep having to start and stop, it's kind of weird, difficult to find.
We're gonna find out a lot about who they are
the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, in 2 road games against Riverside and Mesa. I mean, those are probably the 2 toughest opponents on their schedule.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be playing those games on the road 0-5.
Yeah, and Riverside is in junior college, and this conference is a weird place to play. Just the environment, and the crowd is loud, and it's a weird stadium, and they have this cannon, and it's like every time they score, if they get up on you, it just snowballs.
Yeah.
In a hurry. And Kraft is not the type of guy to. He's not going to help you. He's not going to be like, oh, well, sorry. So,
Kraft's a local guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he was a coach at Palomar, and then Early took over for him. But that was when Kraft went to San Diego State for a period of time, and then once he left San Diego State, I wonder why they're not shaking hands.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean,
yeah. Let me be quiet and let you take it all in. So
as a competitor, if that doesn't get,
yeah. So the head coach. So I'm just confused because the head coach, Coach Rodriguez, is out shaking hands and nobody else. So I don't know. That was kind of a weird scene, and I don't want to speculate. So maybe I'll get a explanation later of what transpired, but I'm definitely not going to speculate. Because my experience being a coach and with the reputation that I have, sometimes perception and reality 90% of the time is not how it is if you don't know the actual conversation or the circumstances.
Another tough loss for the Jaguars here at home. They dropped to 0-5. The Eagles improved to 4-2 on the season. Jaguars will head on the road to play against a tough Riverside team. San Jacinto will go back home, play against San Diego Mesa. Thank you to our producer, cameraman, everyman extraordinaire, Pablo Espinal. He puts this all together. Allows you folks back at home to watch this game here today. And thank partner, you carried us through this game. Not the easiest of games to call, but with your insight and just football knowledge, you really made this broadcast.
It's a team effort, man. It's just 2 guys talking about what they see. Yeah. 2 buddies. Until next Friday. I don't like you next Friday. Just so you know.
For Pablo Espinal, Scott Kylan, I'm Bo Furtick signing off. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Be safe.